Good morning, I'm Craig DeGrelli. It's Monday, September 30th, 2024, and these are your Unbiased Updates. Hamas says its leader in Lebanon is killed in the latest round of Israeli airstrikes as the war in the Middle East escalates. We'll bring you the latest developments. And we'll tell you why 2 astronauts stranded on the International Space Station are now one step closer to returning home.
From the Straight Arrow News Studio, bringing the stories that matter to you from across the United States and around the world, these are today's Unbiased Updates.
As the war in the Middle East escalates, Hamas says its leader in Lebanon is dead after an Israeli strike early Monday morning, while another Palestinian group claims 3 of its leaders were killed in another strike, which, if confirmed, would be the first within Beirut's city limits. This as Hezbollah is vowing revenge after one of its top leaders was killed by an Israeli strike in a southern suburb near Beirut on Friday. Hamas said its leader in Lebanon was killed early Monday, along with his wife, son, and daughter, in a strike targeting their house in a Palestinian refugee camp in the southern city of Tyre. Meantime, the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine, another Iran-backed militant group, also says 3 of its leaders were killed in the strike on central Beirut. President Joe Biden is once again calling for a ceasefire, and the Pentagon is looking to increase the number of American troops and equipment in the Middle East as fears of a broader regional conflict grow. Lebanon's health ministry says more than 1,000 people have been killed just in the last 2 weeks. As many as 1 million people have been displaced as the fighting escalates. Now to the aftermath from the hurricane. Communities across the southeast are in rescue and recovery mode after Helene barreled through last week, leaving at least 95 people dead across 6 states, while many more remain missing. Hundreds of roads are closed, especially in the Carolinas, making it hard to get much-needed supplies to ravaged areas and restore power. About 2 million homes and businesses are still without electricity. North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper said at a press conference on Sunday the state is facing, quote, an unprecedented tragedy. And FEMA Administrator Deanne Criswell told CBS News her agency is doing everything it can to help.
Was North Carolina in particular prepared for this level of flooding? Have they ever dealt with anything at this magnitude?
I think this is really, Robert, historic flooding up in North Carolina, and especially this western part of North Carolina. I don't know that anybody could be fully prepared for the amount of flooding and landslides that they are experiencing right now.
Criswell also says FEMA is working to get bottled water to communities in need, not just in North Carolina, but in other hard-hit states. And they're working to enable communications through the SpaceX Starlink satellite network. Former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris are continuing to rally for support with just 36 days to go until Election Day, focusing on the swing states that could have the most impact on the results. At a rally in Erie, Pennsylvania, Trump criticized the Biden-Harris administration's immigration policies, saying, in his opinion, the vice president should be disqualified from running for president.
Already hundreds of people have been murdered because of her action at the border, and thousands more will follow in rapid succession. She should be impeached and prosecuted for her actions.
Trump also held a rally in Wisconsin over the weekend. Harris, meanwhile, gathered with supporters in Las Vegas. She called on the former president to agree to another presidential debate, something he has said he is not interested in. Later today, former President Trump is headed to Georgia to see Hurricane Helene damage firsthand, while Kamala Harris is back in Washington getting briefed on the massive amount of storm damage.
I'm trying to debate Donald Trump again, and I think he should debate again. The American people have a right to hear us discuss the issues. And as you say here in Las Vegas, I'm all in. I'm all in. Even if my opponent is ready to fold. So there you go.
Harris's stop in Las Vegas followed a fundraiser in Los Angeles on Saturday and a visit to the border town of Douglas, Arizona on Friday. her first visit to the U.S.-Mexico border since becoming the Democratic nominee. We are one day away from the first and only vice presidential debate between Republican nominee, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, and Democratic nominee, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. The two will be on stage with 5 weeks to go until Election Day. The debate will be hosted by CBS News. Sources telling the network how each candidate is preparing for Tuesday night. Vance is working with a team that includes his wife and senior Trump advisor Jason Miller. Tom Emmer, the House Majority Whip, a Minnesota Republican, has been tapped to play the role of Walz during Vance's debate prep. As for the actual Minnesota governor, Tim Walz has also been preparing with a team of advisors, including some who helped Vice President Kamala Harris for her debate with former President Donald Trump. It's Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, who is playing the role of J.D. Vance for Walz's debate prep. We'll bring you a full preview of the vice presidential debate on tomorrow's edition of Unbiased Updates. 2 astronauts who have been stuck at the International Space Station since June are one step closer to returning to Earth. The SpaceX Crew Dragon capsule that will ferry NASA astronauts Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams home has arrived at the International Space Station. Wilmore and Williams rode Boeing's Starliner to the ISS in June for what was only supposed to be about a week-long mission, but were unable to return on the vessel due to safety concerns. 4 astronauts were supposed to be part of SpaceX's mission to the International Space Station this month, which had already been planned. But instead, 2 seats were left empty so Wilmore and Williams could get back to Earth. Still, it will be months before they get to come home. SpaceX's Dragon capsule is not set to return until February. Finally this morning, a passing of a star of both the music and film industries, Kris Kristofferson, the Grammy winner, country music artist, dying over the weekend at the age of 88. His family releasing a statement on Sunday saying he died peacefully, surrounded by loved ones at his home in Hawaii. As an actor, Kristofferson received a Golden Globe for his role in A Star is Born in 1976. As a singer-songwriter, he was known for hits like Me and Bobby McGee, Sunday Morning Coming Down, and Help Me Make It Through the Night. Kristofferson's contributions impacted many, including Bob Dylan, who once said, "You can look at Nashville pre-Kris and post-Kris, because he changed everything." Those are your unbiased updates for this Monday. We'll see you back here tomorrow. For all of us here at Straight Arrow News, I'm Craig DeGrelli. Have a great day.